A lot of you question whether or not I'm here for truth. Question if I was a real flat earther or not. Well, the reality of it is there are no flat earthers. There are only globe deniers. Every flat earth evidence really is just a globe phenomenon, explained by the globe. Don't you see that? See, I'm still here for truth. And now there are certain people in my way. You can deny evidence, but you can't deny truth. Flat Earth, you ask a lot of questions. I think it's time to answer some now. What is up, party people? Damn, that was fun. That was fun. That was really fucking fun. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Hopefully you guys did. Like I said, I wanted to do this only just for the hangout because I know everyone has their things they wanted to say and don't get a chance to say. So I went live. If you want to join this panel, go to the Discord. Head on over to, if you look down in the description, you will see a link to the bunker. That is where we're at. I will see that you are there as I see Oxtal. I am going to verify you guys. You guys can join the panel and go from there. Let me see, there's a few people here. I'm going to do something that I normally do. For you, those of you who are new, welcome. Truth Army, Shawn G channel. I usually go through, so I'm going to say what's up to everyone. What is up, Kit? Thank you. Like you said, nice work. And Perfect Mind says, great job. Thank you. Appreciate that. What's up, No Name? How you doing, sir? Says, toe tags for Travis. Yes. Let me go ahead and I will finish reading the names, but I definitely want to go ahead and show you guys. Some of you guys may know what's about to be shown. Some of you may not. But this is a regular thing. Once a slang has happened, I will usually make it very known that slang has happened. So until I go to the Discord, while I read off names, you guys are going to go ahead and enjoy that part of the stream. Please, as I do this, I'd like for everyone to bow your heads, and I need at least 10 seconds of silence for the AETHERBAND. All right, that was fun, right? So, like I said, that's how that works here. Let me go ahead and go over to the Discord, say what's up to everyone, see what's going on over there.
How do you think he got?
What is up, party people?
Hello,
Shawn.
A headache.
Rest in
Did you guys see that Travis handled playing Truth last night? Huh? La La Land.
Is my mic working okay now? Like, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
There you go.
Thank you, Blue, because I had no clue. Blue out of nowhere in the chat was like, "Uh-oh, Shawn's in the closet again." Yeah, that was fun. Trust me, the platform at which that debate goes I didn't get to say what I wanted to say, everything. I definitely can tell that. First, let's get with James. He's a cool dude. I talked to him in the back. He apologized for the message. I read that message to you guys that he sent the other day. He apologized. Dude's a cool dude. I can see that he's just trying to get a platform set up for debates. With that said, he definitely. I don't want to say he babies Travis, but he definitely gets that there are limitations to what Travis can do. So as a moderator, I think he did great. But at the same time, me and Travis don't really need a moderator. But I really wanted to hold his feet to the fire with that verification, which he avoided like the fucking plague. But
I don't know if he did. I think he actually thinks that is verification.
Oh yeah, 100%. He does 100%. The problem is that
he's not avoiding it. He's just misinterpreting what you're saying.
Exactly. But see, the thing is I knew that nothing I was going to say was going to change his mind. I was literally just exposing how he plays this game. That's the only thing I cared to do.
Yeah, Shawn. Really, the only thing I could say negative about James would be that he modded Mind of God, who is an absolute tool.
I did see that,
and that at one point, the screen was frozen, so we couldn't see anything you and Travis were talking about in regards to the images for the better part of 20 minutes.
Yeah, that fucking pissed me off. So
that whole thing with the freeze frame that we saw, where you're talking about the different camera angles and refraction and stuff. Can you stream that for us so that we can see what was going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
We couldn't see any of that.
I'm so pissed off about that, because that was the creme of the creme. Like, that was exactly what I needed everyone to understand that Travis couldn't do. The verification and understanding of what we were looking at. Let me go ahead. I'll share it right now.
He was asked to update the pictures, and he said no.
And he said no.
Yeah, see, I didn't hear him say no.
No, but I
he typed in the chat.
Really?
And I said, the screen's frozen, please update, fuck's sake. And he come back a couple of minutes later and said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let me see, where am I at?
Coddles all the flat earthers in there.
Right. This thing that you're showing now, we couldn't see the protractor. We could see sort of the camera and the blue for the water, and that was it. And that was all.
No lines, no anything.
Yeah, we could. That's all we could see for 30 odd minutes at least.
Yeah.
So
that's
all of your
frustrating.
description of that, we saw none of that.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, because
I wanted to see this because I wanted to know what was going on in it.
Yeah. I'm showing everyone in
it's
YouTube
not
right now.
Actually, what's happening with the mirages though.
Oh, no. In this, all I wanted for Travis to understand is that we do understand what light does at certain angles and during the time of days. Because, like what you guys are seeing now, you guys can see there's a camera at the very top of the screen. And that was what I was indicating would be like at noon. So I was showing Travis that when at noon, we're not going to have a situation where we're going to have a high level of miraging, a high level index for refraction. And what I was doing is I was starting to take it down, 1 o'clock, and I was showing Travis where he would take, because then he asked, where does it start giving angle of incident? Because I showed him, I calculated this to be about 5 o'clock, and when I showed him this is when he asked that question, because we weren't getting very much of an angle of incident at all. So, or actually I was like right about here. So when we didn't get any angle of incident, he was like, well, what does it take to get that? Well, the problem is, to do that, you then have to raise, quote unquote, the sun, make the day earlier, which is not what was going on. That was a problem that was his biggest fuck up. His biggest fuck up was giving me those files and me being able to see exact time of day, because his whole argument is that refraction fucks everything up all the time, no matter what. And I let him right into that hole, and he fucking took it hook, bait, and sinker when he was explaining how he has hundreds of pictures and they all do something different, and they're all at different times of the day. Travis, you just explained exactly why things are happening. Yep. And then I didn't think he would fucking do it, but he did anyway. When I went, so Travis, have you ever gotten any of those photos of the piers or the platforms at sea level? And when he said no, I got a little stiffy. Because that's obstruction. And that's the reality of it. I was trying to. It was one of those things where I wanted to slowly take it in, and then I could tell James made sure there wasn't any. Don't move on until you answer this, because that if you guys don't remember that when me and Travis were getting to do the back and forth with each other, my only question really was how do you verify it, and he kept getting frustrated and pissed off. I thought he was gonna do one of his little flip outs. But I heard him breathing in the background, so he was calming himself down.
Did you notice that the particular icing on the cake was when you put up that beautiful capture brig container ship? Mm-hmm. Chris Berry in the side chat was going, "Oh, why are you using such a hazy photo? Such a photo?" And it's like, dude, it's Travis.
That was Travis's.
Yep. And then I saw that because every time Travis was talking, again. I've heard Travis's argument so many times. I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't hear him at all when he was when he did that reading thing in the beginning, when he was monologuing. Yeah. Well, you guys, exactly. So that's when I was typing in the chat because I was like, I don't need to hear this shit. But it was the part where that I felt that irritation level in Travis' start was exactly what you said when we were talking about the container ship, the oil platform, and the island. He fucked himself completely on his own. I had him explain what distortion is, what detail is, and then he fucked himself when he went, where does this say that there's not detail when there's distortion? Dude, you fucking screwed yourself.
That's what distortion means.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to, it was, again, I wasn't trying to do this ultimate win and he go, I'm wrong. It was literally to show that he's so full of shit in his fucking ways.
Yeah.
Shawn, just a quick thing. What medium is that showing? Air and water, dumbass.
Yeah, so he asked me that question, right? And so you guys can still see it. He asked me that question and I'm going, well, first of all, I had explained already what we were looking at and he could see this the whole time. He was seeing everything I'm doing. I'm going, air, water.
Yeah, we're looking at the single frame from right at the start of that, and we're all going, "Yeah, we know what that is."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun. He, like I said, he did exactly what I knew he would do, and that is fuck himself. Seriously, I already took down all the pictures, but I had at least 5 or 6 videos and probably 20 of his photos up. But that was I thought there was going to be a closing statement. Oh, that was going to be the one. But I honestly feel excellent about that debate. I honestly plan to not have that conversation with Travis again. I've said enough.
Yeah.
I honestly think there's no way. And here's how I'll know. Because this always happens. And this is called the secret of flat Earth. A lot of flat earthers know when bullshit is flowing. Just like when I went on Nathan's, I got the outcry of flat earthers saying, damn, that was fucked up, blah, 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 blah. I'll get that too. Travis's argument was crap. I don't know why he did this. I'll get him. I'm not, again, don't worry, flat earthers that I know. I won't rat you out, but it's the reality is that's how I know. Because Travis's argument was such crap. No one in that chat was saying, Travis, good point. Travis, you got this. Travis, this. Not one time.
There were a few.
Mind of God.
Mind of God doesn't count.
Mind of Mud.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot anyway.
Which I think he may show up at the chat because he was like, I'm going to go over there. He was acting like he would. If you guys do, time him out.
Yeah.
No worries.
I can't believe James modded him. What the fuck?
Yeah, because Mind of God said, make me a mod. So everybody respects me. And I straight away said, no, fucking don't.
So that whole time you guys were staring at that?
Yes.
What Brainery just put? Wow.
Yes. That's what through that entire chunk, that's all we could see.
Yeah, because I couldn't. Because he told me I couldn't play videos, but he could be able to screen show what I was showing on my browser. So the browsers I thought I was showing, but in the very beginning he said he couldn't share the video. I was pretty pissed off about that because that's 1,000 words right there. But I mean, I had to have showed at least 10 pictures. At least.
No, we didn't see any of it.
Yeah, see, that's frustrating.
That's why I was saying to James, refresh the screen, fucking do something because we ain't seeing it. He said no.
Yeah, see that. Well, and that the best part about having that conversation with Travis is like I said, it's not going to change his mind, and it wasn't to change his mind. I didn't need to show anything. It's his argument that fucks himself completely. Again, like I said in the very beginning when I did the opening part, the 10-minute thing, literally everything we'll talk about, Travis fucking agrees on everything except for the conclusion that it's actually curvature. And he falls right into that trap every fucking time. Every time. All I got to do is, Travis, what do you see?
None of them agree with the curvature.
That's the funny part. But exposing Travis is very easy because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm under the conclusion for a fact that Travis doesn't know he's wrong. I thought he did. I swear to fucking God, I did. I think Travis is that. I think Travis is clueless. I think Travis is honestly clueless about this shit.
I promise you, he is.
Yeah, it's not an act.
And just the fact, yeah, exactly. I don't think he's what people call a pup. I don't think he is. I just think he has no fucking clue what he's talking about, and he's in a situation.
Yeah, that
where
was
he can
obvious
argue it.
tonight.
Thinks he knows, but
after spending 2 hours one morning trying to explain a fucking gyroscope to him, I guarantee you, he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, I heard that. And that was the thing. At one point, I think at some point in the situation, he was like, if someone can show me, and I started giggling. I was like, dude, so many people try to show you. Like I said, I'm fucking dumb as bricks. If I'm able to explain shit to you, there's a fucking problem with you.
Many of them like that, though.
Yeah,
in the chat,
it's bad.
You know, that come on and argue on Jose's. It's like, you can't explain stuff to them. They don't get the little simple basics.
Yeah.
What was that bit at the end about there being some unclassified freaking effect of refraction that shows us the curvature?
Oh, that's what Travis's way of saying there's no way to prove I'm wrong.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like I said, the clarification of what refraction is, the clarification of what miraging is, the clarification of the time of days fucks Travis, and he knows it. That's why he started getting he has those levels. He wasn't going to rage quit because I wasn't going to attack, or I wasn't going to get, what are you lying about this? I wanted to make it very clear. The dude's fucking full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and he shouldn't be listened to. That's just the reality of it. Again, like
on a side note, what does a bitch got to do to be able to post images in this thing?
Do I not have you set for verified?
Oh,
you're not verified yet. I'm so sorry.
Verifying.
I should have verified.
Maybe I'm unverifiable.
No, you're good. You're good. No, the way I constitute verification in here is basically you do talk. You're part of it. There are people, for the people that don't talk, like GPS. There's Brainery. Like, I know them. I've seen them so long that I know who they are before doing this. So I gave them verification. But I do apologize, Emonk. You definitely are verified.
That's all good.
Yeah. It was a situation where you're talking and you hadn't said something, and I just didn't dawn on me. Now that reminds me, if anyone else is having that problem, let me know in the chat. And if you're not here or you're not in the Discord and you've been having that problem, it'll be fixed tomorrow, because I'll go through my list in the members area, and I'll make sure that everyone that needs to be verified is verified.
Shawn, what the hell does time bomb method mean?
What?
I was just looking at my rolls. It says time bomb method. What the hell is that?
Okay, I'll explain. Okay, so let me go to it so I can see exactly which rolls.
I'm cool.
Yeah, okay. So there are methods at which you guys have these arguments. For those of you who don't have the patience like I do, you have the role of a ticking time bomb, which means at any moment you can turn into Darvos. If you have the calm, cool role, that means I have heard you debate, to talk to, discuss with flat earthers, and you don't snap. Yep, everyone has it. Everyone has that role. If you don't have the role, I haven't heard you engage with a flat earther enough yet. There is no perks to it. It just gives other people an idea who they're talking to.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
I must have. Hey,
Shawn, I can save you some time. I can save you some time right now. Just throw that time bomb on me.
I'm not going to give you a role, because I would give you a calm, cool, because you have that persona where you seem just cool, collective. But but so does farmers. So does Druss. Davros, he's always angry.
I think,
Davros
would be classified. I think Davros would be classified as spontaneous combustion.
Now here's like, you know how there's like a curve to
Did we
what
switch the time bomb method to the Davros method?
Yes.
That'd be pretty good.
Brian, you got a time bomb on you.
There you go. Davros.
I wholly agree with that. I have patience out to a certain point, and once you've taken the last bit of it that I have, I'm not very nice.
Just so you guys know, actually, Erebus inspired these two roles because he knows how to make Travis snap. So it's always like a ticking time bomb. And I realized, I was like, oh shit! But now it is called the Davros method. Yeah, but yeah, again, it's one of those things, and unless you've done it, Hannah, you probably know because you've been in the streaming world, but there are very distinct ways I can tell how people go about things. It's kind of one of those things I've learned without trying to learn. Like, it's weird. Like, I kind of, how do I say it? I know what to expect. Almost, I'm looking on the list. Almost with everyone here and on my list, I know how to put you on panels and talk with different people because I've done it so many times. So it's one of those things that it's weird. Jose would will agree. It's one of those things that you almost have to understand and know. If you don't, you get terse and peed on every fucking panel.
Oh, good.
And when I said that, I meant together. Where they butt heads. Those guys can't talk at all. I won't let both of them on the same panel. I won't.
Apparently, Crash wants to know what his tag is.
Believe you're a Davros.
Oh, fuck yeah, you're
Davros. You inspired Davros method. There's a few of you. There's quite a few of you. Davros. And then some of you that have been here a while don't have one. You don't really get into it. I don't think Hannah, you don't have one, do you? I don't think you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
but you don't ever really engage. Matter of fact, lately I would actually change that.
I've talked to Travis before, and I do on Gem's server.
No, but I mean, I'd say over the past week, you seem to be a little bit more aggro with flat earthers.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Montreal gets under my skin.
Yeah, see, having Montreal, like, so I love Montreal's cool as shit. He's always welcome here, but I know a conversation is going to go up or down depending on who he's talking to, and it's one of those weird things you have to learn. Otherwise, you'll have these crazy yelling matches every stream. It's weird. It's so weird. I honestly, I don't know how Jose does it. I would fucking lose my mind with that style.
Montreal, I wouldn't piss in his ear if his brain was on.
See, like the only
alleged brain.
Yes.
The only comparison you can have to me and Jose really is that we're both open platforms where anyone come on, you can talk about anything. But how we do it, I know I'm a control freak. There's no way around that shit.
Jose is too, though. In the bottom line,
but he will allow flat earthers to get out their shit where I know I can't help myself. I will stop and go, what? Jose has a truly open platform. He allows flat earth and globe to do whatever say whatever they need to say, to present whatever they want. Whereas if you present your flat earth stuff here, it's going through the peer review. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then we bring in the Davros method.
I think your motivations are both a little different, though.
That too, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, Shawn won't take the bullshit anymore. That's the point.
Well, that's the thing. That's very much true. But it's not that Jose is taking it. It's that Jose is giving a platform for flat earthers not to feel like it's going to be pinned at, like they're not going to get, the finger on the forehead, you're tapping on them. That doesn't happen at Jose's. A progression of, hang on, fucking hair in my mouth. A program.
Well, they still buys into a few of the conspiracy things, though.
So do I. But see, that's the thing.
But
that's the thing. The reason me and Jose are different. Again, the only real thing you could correlate and say is the same is the fact that we run open platforms, which is insane. Like, I didn't realize it until me and Jose started actually like making it clear that we're open platform. There really aren't very many open platforms out there, and that's insane to me.
Yeah,
that's insane. Me and Jose literally are pretty much the only open platform. Maybe a handful of others, maybe. That's insane.
You're the direct opposite of what Oakley was.
Who?
Polar opposite of Nathan Oakley and his so-called debate channel.
Yeah. It's Jose's on one end, Nathan's on the other, and I sit right in the middle on Jose on the good side.
I mean, Jose's is often accused of being an echo chamber because we're all sitting there chatting and Earth will come in. But the actual echo chamber is Oakley's because he keeps such a tight fucking control over it.
Yes.
That nobody is allowed any dissent in the ranks whatsoever. You toe the line, you get abused. Doubt.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the one thing that I'm fucking insanely grateful for, and that I thought was always the situation, but I didn't realize until now how great it is that, the people that go on Jose's and the people that come here, if you look at it, it is the same people. The best, but the good part about that is that we all think of things in different ways and have objections to different things. And I don't know about Jose because Jose does get a lot of flat earthers, but here I haven't gotten so many lately. But the conversation always rolls, and as long as the conversation always rolls, then it's worth it to me to be here. Again, like I said. Hot mic, Terry. I was just gonna say it's just one of those things that it's like it's I don't need to debate flat Earth. I made that clear, and I think yes, I did come back to it, but at the same time, I think for 3-4 months I wasn't uttering flat Earth at all. I showed it can be done. I'm back in it because I like the argument, and if you guys listen to my fucking intro, I have motives. My motives are to expose fucking bullshit, and that's what I'm here for. Again, I wasn't trying to change Travis's mind. I'm trying to expose his bullshit. I didn't go on Nathan's to think I was going to get my word out. It was to expose his bullshit. That's the reality of it. I have a lot of flat Earth friends, and again, there are situations I handled completely different according to. For instance, I'm not going to attack Montreal. I like Montreal. We have great conversations. I don't feel the need to. Montreal also doesn't just not everything I say. He'll have a conversation. A lot of you guys may feel different about it, but that's the interaction I have with Montreal. Gleam's the same way.
He does that here, but then he goes somewhere else, and it's just the opposite.
But see, that's the thing. I can't fault him for that. He respects that's the ultimate thing. The people that come on my platform respect my platform. I think the only people that don't would be Monday God and Chris. I can't lie. There's a little bit of a favoritism to Chris because he does jujitsu. It sounds stupid, but it's how I roll. You may not like your family, but they're your family, and he's jujitsu and combat sports, so he's family in the way I consider it. When it comes to the flat Earth discussion, I keep it real with Chris. I cut Chris off. I let him know I'm censoring him, the whole nine. So it's one of those things here where it's definitely ran a certain way, whereas personally, I think Jose has the best.
You know
platform.
what? I'm surprised in Jem's Discord how the flat earthers they get beat up on big time, and yet they still come back there.
Oh yeah, but see that again.
Core.
Like I don't put that link in my chat because I'm gonna be honest. The flat earthers that come here, I don't want them. I don't want them there. Why? Because it's not a discussion about flat and globe most of the time. A lot of the time, they can just get stupid, ridiculous over there. And yeah, I don't get why people return. Dark Seed said, "Don't forget Channel X." Don't forget Channel X. What about? Oh, he's just an aggro little fucker. That dude. He triggers me just in the fact that he's so like so conceited in his what he knows. It's like, what the fuck? That's one person that aggravates me because he's here for all the wrong reasons. He's not here to fucking find out what the hell's going on or teach someone some shit. He's here to fucking get shit for his documentary. And to me, that's bullshit. Why? Because there's no way in hell he's going to take that documentary and be completely honest with it.
We need to channel like Smith, been almost universally disliked.
Yeah, no one likes him.
How is it possible that people fall for this? I don't even know how to word it. Like a movement of conspiratorial thinking. If you would want it, free thinking. So it's a free thinking attractions. I can think freely.
But they can't.
Earth, conspiracies, right? But yet, as soon as you oppose their way of thinking, you get shut down instantly. How ironic is?
Yeah, that's the thing that drove me away from flat. Or let me do this. I got a couple of super chats. Stingray News 1, thank you, I appreciate it. He said Travis's opening gave me cancer. And then Anamorphic Mind said, I got to get back to it. He said, where is it? Oh, he said, I don't make claims. Travis 2020. I don't make
that
claims.
Was a claim.
Yeah, his only claim. That's my favorite part. It's like he constantly goes, my claim, and it's like that was
but I don't make claims.
That was what was pissing me off. I don't make claims, or I make claims, but I don't make claims. And then here's the thing. Like when I first came in, we were talking about the verification of stuff. Verification is so important because it leads to accuracy, and Travis has none. He doesn't want to verify anything. And the fact that he skipped over verifying anything, that whole damn stream, I asked Travis to verify what he believes 12 times and did not get an answer. 2 of the times he claimed to have answered it and then just repeated the same, I have 100 photos jargon, which was great because I got 60 photos that tell me different. He didn't like that part. See, I don't know if you guys could see it, but every time I knew every time to dig. I was digging, and he was frustrated. It was fun. I enjoyed that. That was probably the funnest debate because I was in the control the whole time.
Yes.
Travis doesn't have an argument. That's how you know Travis is full of shit. He doesn't have an argument.
He's got photographs, and that's all he's got.
It.
He's got photographs, and that's what bases everything.
Yep, photographs, and I think it's crazy.
And like
his personal interpretation.
He's nearly as good as Rand.
And that's the other problem he's going to have. That shit he read at the beginning, anyone else notice? It is the exact same thing he read or showed last time, and the time before that, and the time before that.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what's going to happen to Travis? Flat Earthers are going to start thinking he's full of shit. I've seen it 1,000 times. He speaks a good game at first, until it gets exposed. Trust me, I'm not worried. Like I said, I wasn't there to change his mind. His mind ain't gonna get changed. He's stuck. But a lot of other people saw how inconsistent his idea is, and that's all I cared to do. And even if the flat earthers that listened didn't give a fuck to what I was saying and the reality of the truth of what was going on, everyone else is gonna at least they have a good idea of how to debate Travis now. Because for people who didn't know, how I debated him is the only way to debate Travis. Otherwise, you just let him talk shit. That's it. That's all you're doing is let him talk crap. And all he's doing is filling in time with jargon. That's why his opening statement sounds like a fucking grand novel someone wrote. And
I must admit, I did suffer a modicum of disappointment.
A what?
A modicum, a little bit of
disappointment.
There was no crying, and he didn't fucking rage quit.
No, he did not rage quit. But
never mind.
The levels of frustration Travis went through a roller coaster of emotions this debate, and I'm gonna tell you now.
I know we could hear it.
Yeah, and that he may have had like a little rage moment in those other debates, but none of them had him frustrated the whole time, and that's all I cared about.
I'm always amused by Travis's where he's like, "Don't you know who I am?" or "Acknowledge me" thing.
Yeah.
My favorite story is my favorite story's got to be when he's in an elevator with George at the Flat Earth conference. They get it to where it's just George and Travis in the elevator, Because I bet you're kind of intimidated being in here with an elevator with me. So George had no fucking clue who he was.
Oh, that is awesome.
Who are you?
And you are.
You introduce yourself, and George is like, "Oh, well, I don't think you're very bright."
That's a, again, like I said, Travis. He'd be a cool dude to hang out with, maybe. But this topic, I'm done. I've made it clear. I have honed my argument so well that I'm sick of hearing me say it. Bring on the next fucking flat earther. That is something I am going to be doing. So everyone knows, you're going to be seeing me a lot more in debates. Before I wasn't eager to do it. I didn't really care to, because I would have conversations with flat earthers all the time here. But I did come to the realization that if I do want to start changing minds, I do want people to start realizing how full of shit it is, I have to go out there and I have to do it, and I have to find the platforms to do it at. I don't get 300 to 400 people watching my stream, so they don't all get to hear what needs to be heard. So I am going to be going out and debating more. You're going to see a lot more of me doing that.
Just don't fall into the trap that a lot of other globe types seem to be falling into at the moment. Of this one can be saved. Most of them can't be.
I no, you're right, 100%. And that was one of the realizations that I had, Monk. I'm not sure if you knew I was a flat earther. So one of the things that I realized is there's always there are people out there that are honest, completely flat earth because they don't understand the globe, and they know that, so they're trying to figure things out. And as far as I'm concerned, I always consider there's one flat earther out there that's listening and actually weighing these options. But in a debate, the person I'm debating, there's not a chance in hell I'm thinking I'm going to be changing their minds. But like I said, I was a flat earther, and if it wasn't for a lot of people that were willing to continuously help me through things or explain things 100 times, I may still be a flat earther. So I can't go about it thinking that you can't save them. I refuse to.
Was there any particular argument, or was it just the persistence of all of the the consistency of the arguments?
It was the inconsistency for flat earth that changed a lot for me. The idea, when I left flat earth, I came around, and the first thing that I realized was you may be able to find something that sways towards flat earth, but when it comes down to the system as a whole, earth, how it works, flat earth doesn't have anything that works together. You can't get a sunrise sunset that will work with the seasons. You can't get a sunrise sunset that works with the time of day, what we see throughout the day and night. Nothing works together. It's a very one trick pony. You saw that, you see it 100% with Travis. Travis doesn't want to talk about anything except for his photos, because his photos won't match with land, horizons over land images. It doesn't work. That was the thing that tipped it for me. But for me, it wasn't a right away thing. Nothing just clicked. It was over a span of about probably 6 months, where I just went around asking questions, trying to figure things out. I get answers to stuff, and then I go down that rabbit hole of figuring out what that meant. It really was a situation where I had to drop my ego, because again, I wasn't a flat earth proof guy. You didn't come to me looking for the proof to go against the ballers with, but I knew the holes in the arguments. I knew what the globe couldn't explain, and I used the shit out of that stuff, and I went at it hard. So I got a lot out of it, and in that I feel that's why I'm able to talk to Travis. That's why I'm able to have these conversations a lot of the times, and it doesn't always get personal. Like I said, it was a progression. I don't regret any of it. If I could go back in time, I'd relive all of it, go through the same thing. Because if it wasn't for flat Earth, I wouldn't know shit. I wouldn't have looked into anything, nothing at all. I would have gone through my life just fighting, getting punched in my head all day, and not giving a fuck about nothing else that had anything to do with how our world works. So yeah, I mean, for me, you're not going to get a regret out from flat Earth. I embraced, I cherished what I had at flat Earth and what I got to learn from it. So yeah, I can't go about debates thinking there's no one that this will affect. I know it will affect somebody. Someone's listening.
Yeah, I used a little analogy today that proved to me how dishonest right-handed minded. I turned around and I said, okay, if you've got a whole bunch of apples and you find one bad apple, do you throw out all the apples? They couldn't even wrap their head around it.
Yeah. Trust me, if I truly thought I could change the way someone thinks, there's a problem. It's exactly what the flat Earth would be crying is a problem. No one should be changing their views because I said so. Trust me, when I say I'm fucking stupid, I'm not kidding. I'm a fucking dumbass. I work construction. I know how to do construction. That's it. If I broke my arms, I'd be fucked. I'm a dumbass. But I like I said, I got the opportunity to have everyone in my panel now, a lot of the people in my damn chat that help me in different servers. I can't be bad at that. That's why I don't like the disrespect to flat earthers. For most of them, I don't think it's their I don't think it's their fault. I think just like Travis, just naive. That was naive.
On. He's in his 40s. He's not naive. He chooses to be stupid.
You can be naive and work your way out of that. I was a flat earther for 2.5 years.
Don't say he can't work his way out, but
that's now that is the defining thing to me. Anybody, globe or flat, if your view can't be changed, there's a problem. You don't know everything. No one does. There's things that just maybe even interpretations that are different that change the accuracy of what you think is going on.
That's why you listen to people that do know more than you do, instead of calling them
dumbasses and telling them they don't know. Like
Al does. That's why he makes me so mad.
It makes zero sense. Like for instance, Travis, who has zero physics, in upper schooling, to tell someone like Blue they don't know what they're talking about. It's purely disrespectful.
Montreal does that. He did that to Professor Phil. He does it to Blue. He does it to anybody that knows more than he does.
When I was a flat earther, I was put in that situation where I had you guys, Hannah, you may remember Paul from Jim's server. He was probably the one person I can pinpoint that showed me probably the most. If I couldn't imagine
gravity.
Gravity. I couldn't imagine him doing that if I talked to him the way Travis or anybody or Chris talks to people or other Globers. And to me, those are red flags. You're not interested in truth. You're interested in your truth. That's sad to me. That's a waste of fucking time to me.
That's because he's convinced that he knows the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's arrogance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's almost why. And I've heard a lot of feedback, a lot of bad feedback. That's why I have truth in my name. That's why I run under the thing of Truth Army. I want you to ask me. I want you to think. What does that mean? That's usually not a good connotation. Well, to me, truth is self-evident. Every truth is your own. Now, verifying that truth is something different. When I say Truth Army, I'm searching for truth. That's what I'm doing. When I say searching for truth, I'm searching for things I can verify, things I can better understand, and I've gotten that. My progression is seen. You guys can go back into my archives, look at from my very first stream to today, and you will see a change. You're going to see a progression. You're going to see me progressively understand what the fuck is going on, and how anybody could throw that away to run a narrative. It's fucking sad. It's fucking pathetic.
Most of those topics are very, very complex, and they wanted to boil it down to some simple explanations that they just can't grasp.
Impossible.
Exactly.
Like I said, I've taken notes religiously for 4.5 years, and there's at no point there's nothing I know completely. I may run around acting and joking around like I know this Horizon shit and bring it on. That's because I feel confident in the length of time I've been looking at it. But I know there's a lot I don't understand. I get hit with shit I didn't know or didn't understand or I interpreted wrong all the time. If you can't admit that,
especially when they start getting into astronomy,
Yeah, like I mean, there's so many things that you just
laden
look
in
into
mathematics.
that should be red flags to flat earthers. That and like I said, I'm not telling flat earthers, for instance, opinionated assholes in the chat, and I'm just using you as an example. You're a flat earther. If you think you know everything there is to know about it, and you know that, and that's why it's flat, then how much have you looked into it? And if you're not questioning everything, then are you really looking for truth? That's the reality of it. It's one of those things where you have to make that decision. No one can do that for you. No one can convince you it's flat. No one can convince you it's a globe. You have to do these things, and it's all about the verification. The Earth can be a triangle, and I can live the rest of my days thinking it's a triangle, and that could be fine. But it's up to what I want to do. And unfortunately, there are people out there that don't give a fuck about others. Nathan Oakley's, Bro Sanchez. They don't give a fuck about you guys. They don't give a fuck about making some fucking money and how can they keep you in their chats. That's the realization of it.
Yep.
Dude, Slow Sanchez is hilarious, if only because he's a flat earther in the consciousness movement.
Yeah, see, I used to think Bro Sanchez was the biggest scammer until Nathan, but those two, I'm telling you, fuck Nathan. I actually know about Bro Sanchez. I was around him for 3 years straight. I'm going to tell you right now, that motherfucker is a scam artist. He only gives a fuck about making fucking money. He don't give a fuck about viewers. How do I know that? Because to this day, I still have the fucking email that he sent me. He don't give a fuck about the viewers. He makes his show what it is. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he has porn bombed himself twice for viewers. He porn bombed little young Pharaoh. That debate, he porn bombed that on purpose to make it look like someone was getting rid of him. That's why when he got porn bombed,
Sick.
yeah, he's done that twice for viewers. He goes to the conscious community and I don't give a fuck if people hate it or not. There's a bunch of fucking dumbasses there. They don't know shit, and he knows it, and he fucking preyed on it. That's what Bro Sanchez does. And everything, and so everyone clear that are flat earthers that watch Bro Sanchez. Yes, I have those receipts. If you want to see them, email me. Sorry, Brian.
Young Pharaoh is a whole new level of crazy, though.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. But that's the thing. You talk about that hand picking shit. Bro Sanchez, they hand pick who they debate for that reason. They know damn well they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then you can tell, like, for instance, that Young Pharaoh debate they had, you could tell Young Pharaoh fucking Google search his ass off before that debate because he didn't sound like he knew what he was talking about, but he was saying the right words. That Flat Earther will eat that up. Again, Riley's a perfect example of that. Riley figured out you don't have to be right, you just have to sound like you're right. Well, when you talk to a bunch of fucking idiots,
good because he's never right.
Exactly.
Well, he's never been right about anything.
Yeah, Blue, you saw the upload, right? Do you see that? Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, I did. I laughed.
That was insane because from the very get-go, that dumbass said general relativity tests the source of gravity. Just so everyone knows, I'm actually in the works. I've already let James know I want this as bad as possible. Anthony Riley.
Oh,
it's even better to go watch the full thing that on her channel.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There are some dandies in there, boy.
Oh yeah. So everyone knows the upload that I sent that I put up with me and Anthony talking. There was probably about an hour, I'd say, of Ask the Glober. Like I said, I go to a lot of flat earth platforms and their panels, and a lot of the times, especially if the flat earthers don't know who I am, they start the berating of questions. Yeah, they were doing that the whole time. Anthony Riley came in at the very end of all that shit.
Oh yeah, there's 3 hours of shit before you got there.
Yeah. See, and I didn't realize because ISSC, she doesn't talk about flat Earth very much, but she's convinced. But
yeah, absolutely.
So what happened is in the upload, you heard her talking about what gravity, blah, blah. Like, that sideswiped me out of nowhere. Like, it was like, holy shit. She read the side of a fucking cereal box and memorized it.
Did you catch the part where she claims the water is its own element?
Yeah.
It's not made out of
she's okay. So she's in the
hydrogen and oxygen. Water. What element is that?
I also learned. No, hang on, Davos.
We've seen that on the periodic
No,
table.
hang on. It gets better, guys. It gets better. I learned this that night too. She is in the camp of particles aren't real.
Yeah, no particles.
Particles are
right
not
there.
real.
Oh, that's right the hand crap. Yep.
Yes, I put up with that this morning,
You can't.
Hannah.
So when she
No
says
particles.
water
Like
is an
that.
element, it's like fire, earth, air, and water are elements.
Water, it's just an element. Water, it's just an element.
Look at that video I just posted.
Oh no, yeah.
And he's so funny. He's such a clown.
Professor Dave owned his ass, and so did Conspiracy Cats.
Oh yes.
I'm not prepared for that.
I have to say,
No, Aaron
probably
ate him.
probably has 1,000 hours of live stream doing nothing but watching 4 damn Foucault pendulums.
I remember that.
God damn!
And one of them
just
wasn't even
got-
a pendulum.
yeah.
It was just an art project.
Yeah. and the funny thing, she lives in Louisville, Kentucky. She's got a Foucault pendulum right there at the University of Kentucky. She can go look
God,
at
a university? Come on, that's Satan's Hall.
it. Yeah.
Well, she's right
Yeah.
up there near Lexington. She can go. She can just go a couple hours north to Columbus and see a huge one up at the cosi there.
Yeah.
Hang on,
No,
hang
I'm
on.
really
Lexington,
pretty sure.
Kentucky.
She's in Louisville.
That's where. Yeah, but Lexington, Kentucky. That's where Justified is set.
What?
The TV
She's in
show
Louisville. She's even
Justified.
closer to Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh, she did do one thing right. She got people to pay for her plane ride. Dummies.
Yeah. That was the one because, like I said, all the time, like I found out who she was through Travis when she did that plane thing, and I remember even saying if she does that plane thing and doesn't start asking questions, then there's a problem, and she didn't. And I should have known that, but the thing was, is every time I'd been over there after that, she doesn't ever really talk flat Earth unless it's brought up.
Travis paid $100 to her $325 GoFundMe.
In God's name, did they think that she was going to actually prove?
The plane went no higher than 2,000 feet, eh?
Oh yeah, it wasn't it. Yeah,
You guys know I went to the University of Louisville for a year.
Did you?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Bob?
guys.
Yeah.
Who's Bob?
Hi, Bob.
Did you watch the train wreck?
Norm!
What's going on, Mr. Peterson?
Oh, things are just hanging in there. I'm working on something right now. Changed my editing style a little bit on this series that I'm doing. I'm going all Ken Burns.
You have an editing style? So,
Yeah,
I
I'm
need to
trying to
get one.
develop one. Yeah, you
Need to
know,
get
I'm
one.
still waiting for the personality I ordered to come in the mail. But yeah, I figured while I'm waiting for that, I'll get the editing. Q told me my thumbnails suck today.
Oh yes, Q to give you some constructive, didn't she?
Yeah, apparently I need sunglasses, so I'm going to work on it.
That was the other thing I was pissed off about. So I like to smoke while I stream. So I did this too. So before we started, I was like, "Hey James, you don't mind if if I'm on camera and I smoke, right?" His eyes got as wide as the camera screen, and he goes, "Please don't do that." Like, okay, don't worry. I was like, okay, I won't even do it off camera. And he's like, "Please, thank you very much." I was like, okay. So I'm not sure if you guys
That blew
heard,
my
but
mind.
I got a little frustrated at the very end for that.
That blew my mind the other day when I found out what Wolfie does.
Hmm?
Wolfie 6020. I found out what his job was, and it wasn't what I thought it was.
Isn't he like a pilot?
Yeah, he's a commercial pilot.
Yeah, but that's not all he is. You know what else he is?
He's also a private pilot.
The police pilot.
He was.
Is he really?
He was a cop.
Oh shit! Nice.
Was?
Oh.
I thought he still was.
I saw that it was the last flight he took. It was with
Yeah, he flew.
was a cop
He flew
plane.
helicopter.
For the record,
Yeah, he flew helicopters.
I thought he still did it.
I don't.
but for the
I
record,
don't
though,
know why he's called police anymore. I think all of his flying now, I think he just does it because he likes. I don't think he does it because he has to, but he just does it because he likes to.
well, is Wolfie's the guy that put out that the video of the plane, or I don't know if it was a video or a picture, but it was a picture, and it was all smoky in there.
Generally, if it's all smoky in planes, that's kind of a bad sign.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I think
Depends
okay,
if-
so I think what they were doing is they were
bad, and if it burns your eyes, it's really bad.
well, I think what they were doing is they were doing something to it on a return flight. I think is what actually was going on. But to me, it looked like Wolfie was hotboxing his plane.
Jeez.
No, I think he
He has some really good videos.
I think he said I think what happened is they were I don't know what the fuck they were. It looked like debugging or some shit. But he said it was like it was routine or something they do on return flights when they have an empty plane or something. And he took I guess he took the pictures just because of the light, the sun rays coming through.
They always spray insecticide on international flights.
Would they do that on a return flight?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, yeah.
Coming and going, general.
Oh no,
Bob, was that the video you were talking about where he was talking about his police flights? Was that the one where he was talking about bringing back the citation?
Yeah, it came through Russia.
Yeah, I posted on that one. You know, what I get from this video is somebody said citation needed. So Wolfie delivered a Cessna.
Ah, yeah. Yes, that's right. Yes, that all stems from he was asking questions of Riley, and Riley said, "Oh, that's like me asking you questions about the law." And sort of he went. I was a member of the police and their aircraft for several years. Here are photos. So he called Riley out on that.
I love it when Riley tries to talk about the law. He knows about as much about the law as he does about public health and science.
Correct.
Or physics.
He doesn't practice.
No, he doesn't practice.
What do you mean?
He can't.
He doesn't even know.
He sucks.
He doesn't even know the laws of the land, let alone actual law.
And this is after the plaintiff has bankrolled him going through law school.
Well, not quite. He'd already got. I suspect he has already got some qualifications. He says, but he did one of these interviews. God, was it MC2 or was it somebody else? And he sort of went. He described his legal career was, and basically, I think he went to college and studied because he didn't have a technical aptitude.
We call that pre-law in the United States. It's not law school.
Yeah, it's not law school.
You take history and philosophy and art appreciation.
He ended up working for a bunch of solicitors that basically ambulance chasers, as we call it. And I don't think he was expecting, didn't enjoy it. And he had like any other career start at the bottom. That's how I read it, and I don't think he liked it. I'll stuff this for a game.
Well, those lawyers need coffee when they're doing cases, you know.
Well, of course they do. Yeah.
He's a coffee boy.
Somebody needs to run the copy machine.
That's it. So then of course we all know what happened is tax, and that's gone.
How did his thesis turn out? We never got his grades on that.
No, it all went horrible. I'm not even sure that was actually
It went anywhere.
Yeah, do you know that could all have been just one?
I know where it went.
I think he
Horribly
lied
wrong.
about turning it in.
What I heard was that he'd had a discussion with his course advisor who told him that it was garbage and he needed to, rethink what he was doing, and he ignored it all and submitted anyway.
Doesn't surprise me.
I would think if he handed it in misformatted, that they would have handed it back to him.
It was all bullshit. He lied about the whole fucking thing.
I suspect you're right. Yeah, I think that was all just a big mistake.
You know, if you're
Money
an
grab.
advisor, if you're an advisor and one of your advisees hands in something like that, it's a direct reflection on you, which means that I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. No. You wouldn't have done something at school, when you're at school alone. A grown adult in further education who's supposed. It's just utter garbage. I mean, that has a mistake, sure.
Can you imagine handing something to an advisor that's on the flat Earth?
Well, actually, I had a conversation with Goldfish yesterday and Rocket Scientist, and Goldfish's partner is actually a copy editor.
Oh yeah.
He tried to show it to her. She read the first page and went, "What the fuck is that?" She goes, "How much more of this is there?" And he goes, 30 pages. She goes, No.
Well, you know who actually went through it as a writer was Dead Kennedy in Space. He went through it and actually did a really nice job evaluating it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's got like 5 books on Amazon, eh?
Yeah, he's got talent.
Fall asleep.
Yeah, but you stayed up to watch the good shit show, didn't you?
Well, I'm going to go back in the background. I'm going to go read a little more about the flu.
It gets you sick.
Yeah.
Makes you cough and snot.
How's Johnson doing?
Johnson? Which
What's
Johnson?
that? What, Boris?
Yeah, isn't it Boris Johnson?
Yes. I don't know. He's in intensive care, apparently.
I thought it was
He's
Yeltsin.
not on a vent or anything, is he?
No, I think they wanted him nearby just in case they had to.
Well, at least he's got a good view of Westminster and the Commons, because he's in St Thomas's, which is on the other side of the river. Because I've been there once or twice. So he's got a nice view of where he should be working.
Well, I don't think he's worried about working right now if he's in the unit.
No. But
he's probably still working.
No, I don't think he is. What do you guys have? A deputy prime minister or something that takes over when he's incapacitated?
There is a designated. We don't actually have a deputy per se. It's not set up quite like that. But yeah, there's.
Well, somebody's got to be in charge.
Oh yeah. There's a chap called Dominic Raab who will. I'm trying to think. What's the foreign secretary? That's it. The foreign secretary will take over should he need to.
All right.
So.
Well, my best wishes and condolences to all you guys out in the UK. I hope your man gets a little better here soon.
Yeah, well, from what I've seen, the sort of the rate of deaths per day seems to be dropping. So maybe, just maybe, we might have got over the hump of it, but I think it's too early to say yet.
Yeah,
I think it's probably going to be in May.
Yeah.
It's going to be in May. I've got a really good chart that I'm using right now. It's a double logarithmic scale that they put out with minute physics. Do a search for minute physics coronavirus chart, and it'll tell you exactly when we turn the corner, because it'll go from being linear to dropping off rather dramatically.
Our governor just shut all the schools for the rest of the year.
Yeah, what state are you in?
Are they? Damn.
Washington State, which we had the first actual outbreak in the country.
Oh, you're in Washington?
So, yeah.
They shut ours down. They shut ours down a couple of weeks ago, and the governor just announced that there's going to be no more school this year. They established.
Gosh, ours has been shut for a month already.
Yeah, ours has too.
Yeah, I just got
But
word
they
that
just
the schools
announced
out
they're
here
gonna.
did. My bad. Yeah, we just
But
shot.
they actually put out a list of trained volunteers that my wife and I signed up for.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
And
really
we're
pissed
on the
if they send me
quarantine
to
thing for
Detroit.
another month.
Yeah, I'm going to be really pissed if they send me to Detroit.
They have people in Detroit still. I'm just kidding.
It's the airports. If you look at
lots of
where these things are, a lot of them are major hub airports. You've got Detroit, Chicago.
Yep, that's what I
That's
said a
pretty-
month ago.
Pretty classic. That's where the infection comes in. I'm looking at the epidemiology of the Spanish flu right now, and it's just amazing. You can just trace it.
Wow.
It's all about global travel, and since our first outbreak in 2003, global travel has increased exponentially. So it only takes a couple days for it to travel the whole world. It doesn't take much at all.
And airports are basically petri dishes because of TSA. You got everybody standing in that huge line,
and
then you've got folks at the gate, and yeah, it's just
And put everybody in that 300 plus
it's a
place with recirculating air.
Yeah,
exactly.
Actually, Dr. Bob, I got a question for you about distributions and such. I had some numpty online the other day talking about how there are 5 different strains of the virus that have been identified, and only the US has all of them, which he thinks indicates that it came from there. Wouldn't it be the opposite?
Well, there's 5 or 6 different strains of coronavirus, and they fall into 2 categories: alpha and beta. The alpha are upper respiratory infections, nose, sinuses, etc. These are infections, and the 3 betas that we have right now are, which was 2004 or so, and then we had Middle Eastern respiratory 2012, and now 19 virus. They hit the lungs preferentially, and that's why they're so ugly. The other problem that you're running into, the thing that was deadly about the Spanish flu was the cytokine storm. You're not seeing quite as much of that, but a lot of these people are going in what they call adult respiratory distress syndrome, which is a variation. And
Tried to explain that earlier today. The stingray.
Send them over to me. I'll talk to him about it.
He's just as bad as a flat earther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he was trying to, go up against me on the medical part, yeah. I just lit into him.
Yeah, tell him to come talk to me. Come on. It's not like I'm not.
You may know your photographs, but this isn't photographs, bud. It's my territory.
No, this is definitely not photos.
Now. It's not Stingray's fault that he knows a lot of things that just aren't true.
At least he knows something, right?
I've never seen anyone push so hard to be a flat earther.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think it's going to break in May.
That seems
I
soon.
think it's going to break in May.
Or when you say break, you mean the peak, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Months did you say?
No, it's
Bob?
going to be. Yeah, I think it's probably going to break or peak in May, and then we'll probably be dealing with it maybe another 6-8 weeks. I think things are going to start getting normal.
We're showing a flattened curve up here already.
And your cases started in January, so that would be 3 months. We got our first case here in Michigan on March 10th, so that would be June 10th. So that would follow along. Looks like about 3 months. China already peaked, but they were a little bit earlier than you. So it's coming.
They're saying it's probably started way back in November.
Way back in November? You mean like maybe 4 weeks early? Yeah, could very well. But I don't think it started in 1986. This is new.
Said that.
You know, they tried to trace AIDS back all the way to the 50s. And, you know, these avian flus, these type A influenzas, what they do is they start with chickens. And then they need a pig. And that pig has got to have a human influenza virus in it. And then the chicken influenza virus combines and it converts it or mutates to a more virulent strain. And then it goes back into the people. And then the people pass it amongst themselves. It all
Kansas hog farm.
Yeah. Haskell County. Haskell County. They had one
And they sent those.
Yeah, they sent
those
them
boys
first,
volunteered for the military.
Volunteered. Hell, they were drafted. They started a draft in.
Oh, I think they were volunteers, from what I read from the history.
Maybe the individuals from Haskell County were, but they started the draft in June of 17, and then Minor reported the cases in February of 18, and they had the first case at Camp Ranston, which is Fort Riley, on March 3rd, and that guy was a freaking cook.
Perfect.
Oh God,
it
yes.
spread like wildfire because of the war.
Perfect. Yeah.
Well, the problem that you ran into at that particular situation was March of 1918 in Kansas, and they had just geared up. They had 57,000 people on that base, and it wasn't built for that many. So they had they had a bunch of the guys out in tents. So the commander, being a good guy, said, we'll just move them all into the barracks. Never mind the health regulations. We'll just overcrowd the barracks so that we can get them out of the cold. And then it became oh, fuck me.
And the conditions were not sanitary. Oh my God, it was just a mess.
Well, they had the flu, they had the influenza, and the first wave wasn't all that bad. It was the 3-day fever, they called it, but they also had measles. So, I mean, they were just really having a great time. I was reading something tonight about the second wave in Philadelphia that just was eerie. They had a guy that was the director of public health named Dr. Crunson. And when they started reporting it coming in from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, you know what he said? Oh, there's only 15 cases, and pretty soon they'll be all gone. Nothing to worry about, everybody. We got this. Sound familiar?
Who'd that sound like?
Yeah, sound familiar? I mean, he used almost the same word.
I was hearing that there's, even once the curve breaks, even if we get to a situation where it, quote unquote, seems manageable, there could still be another outbreak, though.
Yeah,
can come back.
What they do is they mutate. Like with Spanish flu, there were 3 distinct waves. There was an initial one that was the 3-day fever. There was the killer, which was the second wave. And then they had a rebound for the third wave, and that rebound mutated further and became more or less the seasonal influenza. And, you know, it was an H1N1. We just had an outbreak of that in 2009. I lost a friend of mine to it. But, so what Corona is going to do is we're going to have this big outbreak right now. We're all going to get it. And the question is over how long a period of time and what percentage of the population. Now, with Spanish influenza in San Antonio, it was 53% of the population got it.
Wow.
But the thing about it is enough of us will get it, we're going to develop herd immunity to it, and it's probably going to mutate again to become something less virulent. So we will
and it'll be
probably
just in the same common cold crap group.
Yeah, it'll be it'll be like a seasonal flu.
So
you know, it'll be like the seasonal flu. We'll get it every year. They'll probably have a vaccine for it next year, and we're all going to get our coronavirus shots.
So what's more
Absolutely.
important, a vaccine or a
first
cure?
in line?
Yeah, you were in a hospital. It's not even fair. What's more important, the cure or the vaccine?
The cure?
Yeah.
What cure
There
would
isn't a
that
cure.
be?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I go to doctor to get
Is there a
cured.
cure? Is there a cure for the common cold? Is there a cure for the flu? No, we don't
Okay.
cure this shit.
I don't understand.
No,
I
we
think-
reduce it. We
Okay.
we mediate it a bit. Things like Tamiflu may shorten it a little bit if you get it quickly enough. Now, they had some studies in Australia that talked about some of the anti-HIV meds, and then they've got this hydroxychloroquine that they're looking at, but the studies on that are kind of mixed. The biggest thing that we need to do is we need immunity. We need immunity against this.
And then build a vaccine from it. Antibodies. Yep.
Yeah, and then you get a vaccine for it. But that vaccine won't be around for a year.
So they need to have people that do have it and don't show symptoms of it.
No, they have to have people that have it and survive.
Oh, okay.
Which is most of them.
Antibodies.
Yeah. 96% plus of people that have this are surviving. It's not.
Yeah, but when you say surviving, I'm kind of confused on that part.
That would be not dying. Well, that's what surviving means. You don't die.
That means getting it and getting over it.
The air goes in and out. The blood goes round and round. Kind of a walkie-talkie for the most part. You don't run around yelling, "Brain!"
This is not the zombie apocalypse.
That's not what I meant, but okay.
If I survive, most of them do pretty well. Some of them are going to have lung damage.
Okay.
How do we get to that 96% though?
Apocalypse. Well, you look at all the people that have it, and you look at the number of people that died, and it's about 4%.
Yeah. I meant treatment.
Shouldn't we be looking? Shouldn't we be looking at the ones that have survived as and are no longer testing positive versus the ones who died?
Well, there's two ways of looking at it, and you look at it with the overall numbers, it's 4%. If you look at the recovered and resolved cases, which means they either got better or they died, it's actually a little higher.
Yeah, around 20%.
And then you have about 10. Then what you have, and then the other factor that you're not including in here is the undiagnosed case.
That's what I was going to ask.
So
would it be better if they found people that didn't show symptoms but had it? Would that be the best case for them? I mean, did they get that, or is that just how a person?
It'll decrease the overall mortality statistics. But the thing is, you're going to have when you have a disease in a population. Okay, say you have 100 people. Only 75 of those may be formally diagnosed with it. The other 25 may have been mild enough they didn't seek the care of physicians or they weren't tested for it. The true incidence is actually higher than the diagnosis. But is it 5-6 times as high? I doubt it. I really do.
Why do people not show symptoms?
Well, we have an immune system that may or may not fight it off. Yeah.
So it's just
If the immune system nails it,
But you were saying about like the herd immunity. How can our body not show symptoms if we've never seen it, or is it just that some people's systems are strong enough that it can just fight almost a lot of things, or a lot more off than others?
well, that's not always a good thing, though.
Why?
Some people may have immune systems that just kill the virus before it has a chance to really catch hold, asymptomatic. They still had the virus, and if you test their blood, after a period of time, they'll have antibodies to it. But they may have not been clinically sick and
okay.
80% of the virus, basically, it's basically man flu.
Okay, so I'm starting to get it now. So when you say that they need someone that has the COVID-19, it's because once the virus gets in the system and the system actually starts fighting it, the medical field wants those. They want those antibiotics that are strong enough to fight it, and that's what they start making the vaccines and stuff from.
Yeah, we'll come in and suck your blood out and take your antibodies. That's just what we do.
Bodies.
Awesome.
And it's
they give most
a
of
long road.
Important stuff. Now, what happens with this particular virus is it goes in and it doesn't it infects white blood cells, but it doesn't reproduce in them. And as a result, it kills the white blood cells, which release cytokines and pyrogens and cause a fever. And that's why one of the characteristics of this is a really high fever on the order of 100 to 204 degrees. And that's because your white blood cells are being destroyed. And if you take a blood sample on these guys, you're going to see a decreased number of white blood cells. Now, the problem that you run into is there's something called, you ever hear of a cytokine storm?
Isn't that when your immune system goes haywire? Like
what happens is
when you take steroids and shit.
What I do is I describe it as something like when you get stung by a bee. The actual damage a bee does to you is relatively minimal. Nobody dies. Well, some people do, but typically nobody's going to die general bee sting. They're going to be inconvenienced by it, but it's not going to cause you your arm. Is their immune reacts to that, and it's your immune system that kills you in anaphylaxis. And a cytokine storm, your immune system fights the bug and goes haywire and kills you in the process. It's a friendly fire instance. And one of the things that you'll notice about the second wave of the Spanish flu is that 50% of the deaths were people. 99% of the people that died were under the age of 65, and 50% of them were between 20 and 40, the healthiest people. And it was so bad because of the particular antigens on the virus that in 1918, it actually lowered the average life expectancy of men and women by 12 years.
Holy shit.
In that 1 year. Yeah.
And here's the crazy part.
It's 675.
There are these type of viruses everywhere. And don't they find these and do their best to eradicate them before they ever make it to anybody?
We have a thing called the Centers for Disease Control down in Atlanta. And their motto is every day is 1918 here.
Damn.
Because we are one virus from apocalypse. And that is their burden that they live with. And there are, I think, maybe 5 or 6 of them. We have one, the Russians have one, the British have one, the Australians have one. And I think there's 1 or 2 more in Europe. And I think the Chinese have one too. But these are the people that are literally on the front lines between us and the viruses.
Yeah, there's a guy that was on Joe Rogan's, Michael Fudge. I don't want to mess up the name and find it. Uh, he works for the. He doesn't work for the CDC, but he's one of those guys. Michael Osterman. Michael Osterman. I don't know if that name sounds familiar, but his job is to go out and search and find the baddest of the baddest viruses and diseases and shit, and try to take them out before they reach population shit. He did. He was one of the guys. He actually was on the team, I guess, that had issued like a report, I guess you would say, or a timeline report of how bad this could get, like in January. And I think that he was saying like the CDC, they kind of put it on the back burner, not thinking it would be as bad. And then like now they're like, that's why it's so bad, because they're behind in the game.
The CDC did. No, I don't think the CDC did.
Who was it?
I don't think that was the CDC. I think the CDC is running things now.
No. He said in like before it got to America, I guess in January, before it became a big thing.
The WHO, like the World Health Organization.
Maybe that's who he did it to. But he said he said he had turned in the report that explained how bad this could get, and it was put on the back burner basically. And the problem is, the only way I'll be able to know is if I actually listen to it. But I don't want to. Joe Rogan's an asshole. He'll copyright strike my shit.
Shawn, and viral load has a lot to do with how severe someone will end up fighting the disease.
That's what I was going to ask. If the mortality rate was 100%, is those situations when a vaccine is impossible? Or do they need someone that lives from it to have a vaccine or create one?
You asking me how do they make vaccine?
Well, because you were saying that for like COVID, the vaccine they needed people that survived from it, right?
No, I was being facetious with that. We don't.
Oh,
well, they need the genome, and they already got that.
The genome.
Oh, and then
the genome. Yeah, what they do is they culture it in tissue cultures. They use fibroblasts and they use chicken embryos.
Eggs. Yep.
Yeah. All you need is some of it, and you can make a lot of it.
Then why are what are they doing the like human testing shit? What are those all about then?
What are you talking about? The hydroxychloroquine?
I guess
that they're doing down in Detroit.
Yeah,
those are human trials.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff with this COVID stuff, that's not. They're not testing anything. Like they're not seeing if it's going to kill anybody. They know it's not. They just need to.
Well, they're hoping it's.
Oh, they're testing vaccines too. They've got some vaccine testing going on up here in Seattle.
Do people die from those things? From
these
testing?
They could.
Clinical testing? Yeah, they do.
So like,
hopefully not too many of them.
So that's like next step after they test on animals, right? Like that would be what that is.
I think they're foregoing that one. They're using volunteers, people that have had it.
Yeah. This is a treatment with a known drug that's already been FDA approved that they're using it off label for to see if they can get another use out of it. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing with the hydroxychloroquine. Okay. And the vaccine. Yeah, what they generally do is they generally do animals, and then they do limited human studies, then they do large-scale human studies, then they release it. Okay. So, for example, polio was released to the general public in 1955, but they did a large-scale human test, human series in 1954. And actually, there are people out there that still have certificates for participating in that.
Wow.
But but they did a big one. The first humans that they tested the polio vaccine on, right? I mean, that weren't in the lab. Salk injected his wife and children.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how much they feared polio.
See, I could
now
see that.
Now everybody's too fucking worried about gluten.
See, I could see that claim to, because they could essentially test these vaccines on the public, really, right?
Yeah, But you got to understand too. There's also medical ethics at play. You don't do a widespread human test without talking to the
the
medical ethics people,
or the human. Right? Well, that's what.
Well, yeah.
Now right now they're just using volunteers that test positive for the virus.
I'm pretty sure they're paying people for stuff too. Well, the UK they're paying people to do tests, or I don't know what they're testing exactly with the COVID stuff, but it's directly related with COVID that they're paying people to do these things.
Sometimes they pay and sometimes they don't. I was in some paid studies when I was in college, but that was basically to see whether or not it fucked me up. Can humans tolerate this medicine? And
I was going
to
do
a bunch
one
of healthy college kids in to do it.
I was going to do one once that would quote unquote help quit smoking. And I got to the place, and the lady is rattling off side effects, and mind you, she's telling me all these side effects are not likely to happen. Here's why I turned around and walked out the door. She said, unfortunately, we have had a high situation of bowel release. I went, I'm good, thank you, I'm out of here. And I went,
Damn it, I forgot to bring my Depends.
Yeah, I'm good on I'm not a guinea pig. I'm not a good guinea pig.
When they start handing out the diapers, that's when I start leaving.
Yeah,
I'm about done with that.
I'm like, no.
I stopped wearing diapers. I stopped wearing diapers like 55 years ago, and I'm not really looking forward to wearing them again.
Yeah, at some point you gotta just say no.
Maybe in 40 years.
Not even then. When the day I need diapers as an old man, I am on my way out.
I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, medically, if they can stick things somewhere so I can still go, that's one thing. But as far as the day I can get up and I do that, there's a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because my mom made me, for some strange reason, since I'm the only doctor in the family, my mom made me her medical power of attorney. So I'm the one that gets to pull the plug. And she said, I gotta trust you that you're gonna do this, when the time's right. And I go, yeah, I know when the time's gonna be right. And then she stopped for a minute and says, how are you gonna know? I says, well, you won't be able to walk in high heels anymore. She tried to get the paperwork back, but I kept it.
No take backsies.
No takes backsies.
Can't be an Indian giver. Come on.
My mom's 83 and plays tennis 3 days a week, or at least she used to before before the plague.
Hell yeah, nice. That's crazy when you see was it probably. Well, I see. There's a gentleman that I used to train with. He moved somewhere else, but dude was like 75, doing jiu-jitsu. He was a purple belt. Dude was pretty damn good too. It's just amazing. It's like that's exactly why at no point in time will I stop just doing anything. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't just imagine just letting go, giving up. I mean, I learned to stop doing stupid shit that would get me really hurt. I mean, not counting combat sports, but in other extreme sports. But some of those I stopped. Like I stopped riding BMX bikes. That's just a bad idea altogether. But I do mountain bike and do downhill biking, so that's still bad. Yeah, anything that gets your blood going usually gets you hurt. Usually I like, so. But I won't die of old age. I'll die of my body locking up on me.
I keep telling everybody I'm going to be shot off the bar stool at age 95 by Jeff Husband.
I'm not sure. You broke up on me on that one. Do you break up on anyone else, or is it just me?
No, it broke up on me too.
I know what he said.
He's breaking up with everybody.
Hang on.
I plan on.
Farmers, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, mate. I've had myself a cup of tea. I did actually just go away, have a shower, brush my teeth, get dressed.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy birthday again.
So, thank you very much. I've now been up for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, that's why I had to ask, because he hadn't been talking much, but he had chimed in a few times earlier, and I was like, damn, I forgot he hasn't slept yet. Good on you, though.
Being a trooper.
However, I suspect that at some point this afternoon, if Jose actually does a stream, I may or may not be there because I could well be snoozing on the sofa. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just going to say this. And this is just a word of the wise because I have done this a few times. Go ahead and if you're not talking, go ahead and mute yourself just in case.
I have heard many people snoring on live streams.
Yeah,
so yes.
it happens to everyone. I don't care who you are. It will happen at some point.
The bad thing is when ATC hears you snoring.
Oh, does he say something?
That has happened.
I've gotten caught twice. The Jose one wasn't. I mean, I've gotten caught without my mic on.
Yeah,
or without my mute on.
You did the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I was muted for Jose's. I learned my lesson probably about 3 years. I haven't done it in 3 years, but 3 years ago, I fall asleep a couple times on an open mic. It happens.
Oh, that's always fun. Snoring away.
It happens to everyone. It will happen. The smart ones mute themselves when they're not talking when they get tired.
I mean, I'm hoping I can manage all day. I mean, things to do. I haven't had breakfast yet. It's oh my god, it's going to be an absolutely glorious day. It is already. So if nothing else, I'm going to take the motorbike out for another black because the roads will be empty and I can't really do anything else anyway. And then hopefully Jose will stream this afternoon, and if I can make it through that, that'll do.
Yeah, you'll catch that second wind. Second you get your gear on.
Oh yeah.
It's a snorer on Terry's stream all the time. I can't remember what his name was.
Oh,
why the fuck is it? Really? Is that really?
Was that?
Alan.
No, not Alan. No, that really big dude.
Alan used to fall asleep all the time on streams.
Unpaid Shields.
Yeah,
Unpaid Shills. That's it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Blue.
He falls asleep all the time.
Yeah. Hadn't heard him in a while. Anybody heard anything of him?
I messaged him about a few weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything. I'm hoping he's all right, and he's just doing. He said I remember him saying he likes to do little hiatuses where he just disappears. So hopefully he's all right, and that's all that is. But yeah, it's been a few weeks. I talked to him.
I don't think I've heard him in 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, he never returned a message back. I just messaged him because I was like, hey, where the fuck is he? Yeah, but I do remember him saying he does take those little breaks. Again, I hope that's all it is.
Left lane seems to be idling.
Yeah, you're hot mic in left lane.
He's in the right lane now.
You know how there's hardly been any aircraft? There's barely a cloud in the sky, but there's one big fat contrail.
Yeah, see, Ozzie whiteknight said, that's why I'm muted.
Yep.
Isn't it pretty early for you to be snoring, Ozzie?
It's early, right? Or is it early morning for them? It's in that. Wait, it's actually late afternoon, I think.
It's afternoon.
In Sydney, it's just coming up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, because it's weird.
Because they finally synced with us.
Because the way I see it, I remember is that so Framerboy is ahead of me in time, whereas in Australia I have to go backwards in time, but then I have to gain a day.
Yeah,
well, they're ahead of us in Australia.
I'm just coming up to 7 in the morning.
You always sound like you're snoring, Terry. How you doing, Terry?
I'm doing good.
Did I
it's
destroy?
4 o'clock here.
I didn't destroy a show or anything, did I?
Which show?
I didn't know if you were going live or not because I'm not used to going on live this late. Usually you're on late.
No, it's my day. I'm hoping it's my day off today.
Ah, okay, cool. Did you catch the debate?
No, I was out in the shed.
Oh. So whatever's in the shed is more important than me debating Travis?
Yeah, working on stuff down the shed, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing things.
Just checking. You know, I didn't know. I thought maybe you didn't have a life, and all you do is
Well, I
stay
would have
online
listened
like
to it
me.
down there if I had the facilities down there. Yeah, I could have listened down there, but I haven't got it.
I was so worried. This was one thing I was worried about. I was like, okay, so I know a lot of the people that hear me and Travis are going to be there. Like, I was like, man, I don't know how, like, I can imagine how bored everyone that, like, are in this community is going to be listening to Travis's bullshit again. And then everyone on my panel, you guys had to have listened to it because I make everyone listen to it.
Would it be fair in saying that if I've heard Travis on his own the way he craps on, and I've heard you say stuff, so I just put the two together then? Would that be okay?
Oh yeah,
Just to say that.
Oh yeah, exactly. I felt like it was. I felt good acting like I did today. Like I was on that. Like I was still respectful, never disrespected Travis, but it was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I gave him that attitude from the start. It's like this. You said this earlier, and you like he just kept fucking himself over and over. I was like, oh, so refraction works like, oh, so you understand that, huh? Again, it was fun. I enjoyed that. I haven't been in a debate like that in a long time. It's been years, actually, a couple of years.
Hey, Shawn, I just wanted to mention, I heard your little discussion with Riley the other day. You really handled yourself well.
Yeah, you guys. I remember you were telling me like just stick to it. Back in the way before when I had gotten into it before, you and Blue actually told me a lot about how to handle him, and I thank you guys because I realized Chemo, Travis, Chris Berry, and pretty much those people we all know. It's one of those things where if you just kind of like, you know those pictures where you got to cross your eyes to see what the picture is? It's kind of like that. You kind of have to just cross your eyes and read in between the lines that what they're saying. Ignore most of it, but just read in between the lines and then just stick to whatever you were saying before that. Because if you listen to them, you'll forget what the hell you were supposed to say. And that's what I do with Travis. And
the one thing that Blue and I have an advantage of is we're old. All right. And the fact that neither one of us are currently in prison means that we've learned how to deal with people like that.
Or how to hide the body.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's what it's called is efficient.
Blue.
Yeah. But you see, the thing is,
not to reveal the secrets.
And yeah, Bob, I'm older than you, so you're a young bloke.
Terry, look, okay, don't use your dust experience.
Dust experience.
But the thing about it is violence goes down with age, but treachery goes up. And one of the things that we've really learned to do is we've really learned how to gut people and smile.
We got more patience.
Yeah, that's why they call me the smiling assassin.
Well, see, that's what I like to think that I have the upper hand on. See, here's the thing. I feel I have an upper hand above you, and Big Blue, and Dr. Bob, only in the sense that I went through the Flat Earth thing, so there's certain methods that are different that I see differently. But obviously, you guys' knowledge far exceeds mine because I'm still fucking stupid.
Shawn,
but
what's different about denial?
What? Denial?
Well, that's the method to Flat Earth is denial.
For the most part, it is. I didn't deny
for the whole part. For the whole part.
See, but that's the thing. You stereotype. I don't.
It's not a stereotype.
It is. Okay.
It's the truth.
I didn't deny. I wasn't a globe denier. I was I guess I was. But but I pulled out of it, so it's not the fucking same.
No, but you pulled out. It's not the same.
I smartened up, but it's different. Maybe
you got better.
Just remember, everyone, Shawn pulled out of the Flat Earth.
Oh, hey, I got one kid. I perfected that.
I'm going to remember that.
Master of the pull-out.
Yes, right. You better believe that shit. Years of practice.
Loneliness.
No, not that. That's why I had to perfect it. All right, peoples. I am exhausted. I actually have to go to work tomorrow. I got fucking cupcakes sitting in front of me. Why don't I get one? I want two. Wait, I can only have one. Really? That's fucked up.
Shawn just went from 38 to 8.
Yeah.
Shut up. I have a fucking cupcake. I got a cupcake. I got a cupcake. I got a cupcake. Hey,
Shawn,
hey.
I'm having pancakes for dinner.
I'm about to have scrambled egg for breakfast.
Well, Davros.
It's not breakfast if you haven't gone to sleep.
It's 7 o'clock in the bloody morning. It's not
breakfast.
You can have breakfast anytime. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Yeah.
Your stomach doesn't know what time of day it is.
No, but you have to have done the sleep fasting for it to break fast.
Hang on a minute. How was that? Was that long enough?
Snoring.
That's about as long as I gave up on cigarettes the last time.
So put that one out. That's the last one. Oh, look, cigarette.
I always seem to be able to quit for an hour.
I quit.
Well, last time I quit, I decided to stop being a quitter.
Nobody likes a quitter.
RT96 says, I have to go lick my wounds from my humiliating defeat at the hands of the plain truth.
That's what we'll hear later on. I can put money on it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
His white knight.
Yeah, I've got the same. I've got the same thing from the Ranty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's worth
2 words for you guys: pigeons, chess.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Actually, it's more like dominoes, where all the bits are on the floor and the board's been snapped in half.
I was thinking about going on Ranties, and I think I could. Ranty's not that bad, to me at least, talking
Well,
wise.
it's not Ranty that's bad, it's just the other people.
I don't know, Davros. I remember you telling me that you were doing that, but I don't think I remember you saying Data was going to be on there. I wouldn't have done it. That guy is by far the dumbest and most annoying and dumbest and most annoying person on earth. I don't even care.
I won't go on Ranties again until he apologizes to me.
No, but when I started, it was right the hand and
Mine
of God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
The rest of them
Screw those
came in
clowns.
like an hour or so later.
See, I didn't know it was
And
open.
then when Rumpus come in, I'm like, no,
Oh.
fuck you.
Fucking Rumpus. Well, you were here, Blue, but a lot of people don't know. We were sitting in here watching it on our perspective screens, but we knew what was going on. And every once in a while, someone on the panel would open up their speaker, and all you hear is Rumpus. Hold on, fucking this or
stop censoring me.
Yeah. So I felt it necessary to go out there and egg them and show them some support. So I went to the chat and was like, good job, Rumpus. You're doing a great job, buddy. And the only person that I think saw it was fucking Blue.
I was doing it too.
That was awesome. But I like that because it shows. Hang on. I mean, the cupcake. Fuck all y'all. But it shows because it makes it very clear that there's a method that works and there's a method that absolutely does not work. And luckily I have myself to showcase the way that works, and Rumpus shows how it will never work. And the problem is it's such a fucking waste. Such a fucking waste. And you guys know I hate Rumpus, so if I'm saying he's a genius, then that obviously it's true. It's obviously something's a problem. He just needs to realize it. He just needs to realize that just because I'm a dumbass doesn't mean I don't know the best way to do something.
Rumpus's problem is that he is extraordinarily bright.
Mm-hmm.
And he picks out fine details that are purposely being left out of our arguments.
Yep.
Because they just give the flat earth wiggle room to misinterpret them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, It's just that's the only issue that I have. I mean, he's a great guy. I don't mind him at all.
No, I'm not gonna say he's a great guy. He's a fucking asshole, but he's smart as shit. He's definitely in the top 5 of the people that I feel are extremely knowledgeable in this community. Dr. Bob, Blue, you guys are absolutely in that list, so you guys know. He is a waste, and I hate saying it, he's a fucking waste to this argument because no one hears him. Not one fucking person. Either side hears Rumpus. His knowledge, because they're too wrapped up in listening to him whine. Talk to people like assholes.
The thing. It's 80% whine, 20% knowledge.
The key to making a good case or a good argument is brevity. If you understand something really well, you can explain it in a sentence.
Rumpus just gets a little too far off in the weeds.
Yeah, I'm about to. Ha ha ha, motherfuckers! I got another. No, stop. What do you? Oh, you can have the plate. I don't need that.
Just give me the cupcake.
She reached back in.
I have 2
like,
hands. I need 2 cupcakes.
I was about to eat her hand. I thought, what are you doing? I don't like people taking shit from me like that. And she told me all she needed was a plate. What the fuck do I need a plate for? It's a cupcake.
Oh yes, and I have coined a term for right the hand as well. It's the Santa Rock fallacy.
That guy's a trip to talk to.
Well, that was the weird thing. Okay, he started talking about how words, they're just things used to describe things. It's like, well, how else do you communicate? You know, like, if words are useless, why are you talking?
Through the power
Draw
of
the
line.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of like these people being outed at times that I've seen so many times in this long 4 years. Never in my life have I ever seen such blatant fuck you flat earth than the messages I've seen from right to hand to people about not being a flat earther and it being a joke and all this other shit. Yet they all embrace him. It is such an odd thing.
Isn't it just?
Well, because they have to keep the numbers because they're dwindling.
That's crazy.
It's growing. No,
It's growing?
it's
No, it's getting much smaller. How do I know? There's a whole lot less live streams going on now, and there's a whole lot less people talking about I'm a flat earther. Matter of fact,
Actually,
majority of the flat earthers have now started calling themselves globe deniers and or switched it to truth seekers.
Hey, that's your whoa, hey, that's your thing.
Hey, if they're really truth seekers,
They'll
good
come
on
here.
them. Good on them. And
No,
if
but
they're
they
not,
need to come here and embrace the truth.
Because if they don't, then I'll find them and I'll expose them.
Oh, Shawn, I don't like it when you expose.
You may not like it, but others do. Hey, you guys might as well talk. I told you I'm eating my fucking cupcake right now.
You enjoy your cupcake, but today has been fun.
Cupcake? What? It's 11 o'clock at night.
2 cupcakes.
No, it's not. 7 o'clock in the fucking morning.
No,
It's
not.
cupcake
It's
time
20 to
somewhere.
4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I made them. No,
Liar.
I've been online all night. How in the fuck did I have time to make them?
What kind are they?
Every chocolate. Every time Travis was talking, I started making something. Yeah, but I gotta get out of here, guys. I'm tired as fuck. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta be up at 5. So I did want to do, like I said, I wanted to do this stream after because you get that adrenaline rush down and hang out and hear what people thought about it. Usually it's like there's more back and forth, like you should have done this or you should have done that, but what more could I have said?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
All right, you sucked.
Thank you, Hannah.
But Shawn, it's because we know and understand exactly what you were going to do to Travis.
Yeah. And I like I said, guys, as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't me that did it. It was all you motherfuckers. You're the dumbasses that came here every fucking day I streamed and taught me more and more shit. So, ha ha ha.
Yeah, well.
Yep. See, I even forced people to stay up for 24 hours. Thank you, farmers. I appreciate that, man. It meant a lot that you stayed up for it.
Oh, I just when he sort of said, can we delay it another hour? It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. No, I've got enough coffee in me to keep me going. So, and it was fun to sort of listen to. And of course, we were critiquing him in here whilst we were listening to it. So.
Oh, nice, good. Yeah, it was a fun one. That was the funnest debate. Again, like Dr. Bob, you were saying, when you know something, it's easy to explain. It was this was honestly probably the first debate I've ever had where it just was like, just sit the fuck back and enjoy yourself. There's nothing else. I literally repeated everything I've said here to him over there.
Mm.
And the biggest, like Dr. Beth said, I could have ended it in 1 minute. Travis, verify something. To this day, you think I'm kidding? If I see Travis, that's all I'm gonna say to Travis. You figured out how to verify your claims yet? That's all I got. That's the only thing I got to say to him.
Yeah.
And then his problem is,
but that's not science, Shawn.
The problem for Travis is that he is a one-trick pony. So that means me and Travis don't have nothing to talk about.
It's one-trick phony, not one-trick pony. Okay, we worked
Did he
that
talk
out.
about anything else but his
Nope.
stupid Aetherband?
Nope, because if you bring anything up, he will say, I don't know about that. I don't research that. It's not the topic. It's bad. Really bad. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys for being here, hanging out.
Thanks.
Yep.
Oh, good show.
I will see. I may go live tomorrow. I doubt it. I'm going to say doubt it because I'm going to be making up hours from the rain and shit we've been getting. But I may. I most likely will be in Jose's chat or panel at least, but I'll see you guys around for sure. But for now, I'm going to fucking bed. Put it this way, I'm not even going to mute you guys and then go talk to YouTube. I'm just going to play my intro from here and leave. So, again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good night.
Hey, Shawn.
Good night. Thanks for having it open all day.
Yep.